I came in like a wrecking ball. That's how I always warm up. That's how I warm up.
I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me.
Let's get started. Welcome to the Forum Thread Podcast, number 63. I'm your host, Dark One Dre, and here with me tonight, I've got Tejan Lee.
Hi.
For a minute, I thought you were going to leave me hanging. Zap45.
I was taking a big sip of my wine.
Don't worry, it won't leave you hanging.
Nobod.
What does he mean by that?
Hi. Leave you hanging?
Yeah,
Hey, we just talked about this. No fucking up the intros.
thanks for that. Okay, Nobod, did you say something?
I did. I said hi.
Okay, thank you.
God.
Ray.
Do I sound different?
Hi.
Chaos Mana.
Hello.
Lozelda.
Hi.
And that's it. I've got Tarii Firestorm pulled up on here, and her little block is blank, and she's not actually here, so she's just here confusing me.
Yeah.
So welcome, everybody. It's nice to have
Send her an
everyone
angry
back.
shout out.
Yeah, an angry shout out to
I'm
Tarii
writing you a letter.
Firestorm. I'm looking at you right now.
Well, not technically.
So, I know we talked about how we were going to start this today, but I think the appropriate topic to start this out with is by interrogating the newlyweds.
No.
Oh, yes.
Yay.
Dun, dun,
Newlyweds.
dun, dun.
Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, Ray smiled and David frowned.
So I know.
This usually reversed.
So I know you were stressing out really bad, Ray, in the couple days right beforehand because there was stuff going on. So was it wonderful and fantastic? And were there any awesome stories that you should share with us? Because every wedding has an awesome story.
I can't think
How
of any awesome
disappointed were you?
stories.
Oh. Out of 10, would you do it again?
Did you do it again already? Hey,
Hey, now.
making a sex joke. All right, anyways.
More
I
importantly,
can see Chaos's smile.
It's more of a smirk. He's like, yeah.
Okay.
Tap that.
We're getting intimate here, folks.
They got married. What do you expect?
I mean, yeah.
I think that's
What
more
are
Ray's
you
pride
talking
there.
about?
Yeah,
Don't
what are
worry
you talking
about
They're like
More
Ken
Ray
and Barbie.
drunk
They
you?
don't actually have genitalia. They just got married and kissed, and then that's going to be the end of the story, right?
See,
Yeah,
that's
we're Barbie and
exactly how
Ken.
I pictured it, because they're my friends, and I don't want to
You've
think
been
about
picturing it? Gross.
Wow, you are the biggest pervert on this podcast.
That's disgusting.
To be fair,
It takes
I
a lot
love
to be
he was
the
in the
biggest
middle of
pervert,
saying.
and you win.
No, listen, to be fair,
I love how
I've
he was in
never,
the middle of saying
the
that he
images
wasn't
aren't in my
picturing.
head. I just like, I guess Chaos is getting laid. That's cool.
They're on his computer.
Oh, well,
we're
I know
sharing a
Tara is
hotel
already
room with
writing
you.
the TFT fanfiction, so she can,
Ooh, I can't wait to
you can
read
consult
that.
with her,
I'm,
figure this all out.
yeah, draw me sexy.
Tarii,
baby.
She killed me in 3
You
pages.
better not make me a stereotype, okay? Don't do it.
Talking
No,
to
make
Tara.
no
Dude,
make Dark
you
the
are
most
stereotypical.
like flamboyant.
Stereotypical.
No, I said don't make me a stereotype. What you're talking about is the exact opposite of that. Don't. Listen to what Chaos says
Okay.
and then disregard it.
Okay, let's get back
Dark-
to the
Everyone-
race.
Dark-
Stereotypical what?
Dark, I
mean,
think you have
Ray.
two choices. You can either be the stereotype, or remember when Ray made us all in her little Sims world and you were the first to die. So I
Yeah,
think those are
I
really the
remember.
choices you have.
Make my death really
Great.
romantic.
Oh gosh.
Make your death romantic?
What does
Yeah,
that even
like,
mean?
like I'm saving someone's life and then I die, or I don't
That's
know.
not.
That's
You
not
die
romantic.
watching somebody getting
Alright.
married.
All right.
I
So
have
here's
a
how this
morbid
would work.
sense of romance.
That's
Ray
called being a
and Kate-
Die
martyr.
watching porn.
Ray and Chaos are going to tell us about their wedding, and you're going to get a dictionary and look up romantic.
Okay, so
While
which
we
of you
listen.
would like to start?
doing that right now.
Okay, Ray, you were like the one freaking out about all the pre-planning stuff. I mean, it was
Yes.
all over social media. So tell us how that went, and then how the actual wedding was. In your opinion, was it a success? Did people sit where they weren't supposed to be? Did
Did you go
the
through
mother-in-laws get along with each other? All that good stuff. Tell us.
Well, I think it all came together. The ceremony probably wasn't like 5 minutes because me and David kind of wrote our own things. We don't like the big mushy readings and no. So if it was 5 minutes even, I'd be shocked. It was a very just small at-home thing, so there wasn't like people will be over here and someone will be over there. Everything just came together
the
last minute.
long
Wait,
like
so how many people were there? Would you say?
maybe 20,
25.
Oh, it was really small.
Yeah.
Okay. And here I saw that little the Minecraft cake that you guys did, and I thought that's not gonna be enough to feed everybody
We
there.
made a bigger one. That was just ours. The one you like save for the 1 year.
Oh,
bullshit.
really? You're gonna do that? That's so terrible. Because the cake always tastes
Save
like
the
shit a year later after it's gotten
No,
freezer burned.
Not if you wrap it correctly. I googled the shit out of it. Ours actually lasted the full year. And the trick is butt tons of saran wrap.
That's what I was
You
about
just have
to
to
say.
You just have to make sure that there's no air trapped in it. So like,
Wait, can you
like-
clarify? How much is a butt ton, Lozilda?
you have to measure
in
it,
whose
stretch it
butt?
against your butt like 50 times.
Yes.
Four rolls or
no, not that much. So like when we did it, we wrapped like 2 layers. No, we wrapped like 3 layers around it, like in both directions. So like going, around it and then kind of going over it, and you like smush it up against it so that way you move all the air pockets out, and then you wrap it in foil really tight, and that keeps most of the moisture out. So, and we did it in that, and then we put it in a box and stuck it in the back of the freezer for a year.
So
And
saran
it
wrap,
looks-
aluminum foil, freezer. That's
Yeah.
that's the magic combination there.
Yeah, that was it. It was just, you want the saran wrap to keep the air out, and you want the foil will kind of keep the rest of the moisture and
Yeah,
stuff
it
out.
still tasted as
And, like,
good as
It,
day one.
it was probably not as good. So, like, if you take your wedding cake and you eat it, like, 3 days later, that's kind of what it was like after we pulled it out of the freezer. Like, it wasn't, like, as fantastic, but it was,
It was
wasn't,
edible.
like, super dry. It was still, like, it still had the flavor. It still was, like, a little bit moist and stuff. It was just
had
like, I
cake
think I
flavor.
need some milk with it. Yeah, it's, it was still pretty good. Like, the frosting was still fantastic. So, and that's really the important part. So yeah, if you wrap it right, it actually lasts pretty well. And I don't think we actually wrapped ours until maybe like a couple days, like until like the Wednesday or Thursday after the wedding either. I think we kind of had forgotten about it. So
If all
So
my
Chaos,
cake isn't gone, I'll
Ray?
be severely disappointed.
It's not
With
too
all my
late.
guests.
It's not
Wrap
too
that cake.
late.
Wrap it.
Wrap the cake.
My mom
Wrap
put
that
some
cake.
foil and threw it in the freezer, but I
No,
might
pull it out,
redo it.
wrap
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'll
pull
redo
it
it.
out, redo
Rewrap
it before we
Yeah.
What are you
leave.
telling him to do? I'm confusing your messages here.
I'm telling him
they're
to
talking
rewrap
about
the
the
cake
cake.
while
He doesn't
at the
really
same
need to
The
wrap.
time
cake.
giving him
Oh,
a,
okay.
giving a
Zach's
I
mind
see
was
the joke
somewhere
you made
else. I was
there.
just clarifying for
I
him.
mean, I don't think he really needs
Yeah,
to, but
yeah, because Ray's on the pill, so there's no condoms needed. No babies are gonna happen.
99.99% effective,
you
right?
can never be too careful.
This is
but
true.
there's also Planned Parenthood and Plan B.
This is also true.
Yep.
Woman's
Ejection.
got her options,
Yep. So I found the definition
and one is a
of
little bit less
romantic.
expensive than the other. Oh, really? You actually
Yeah.
Googled that shit?
Yes,
Wait,
of
what did
course.
you
So
Google?
I'm gonna go
'Cause he
ahead
got
and
pressured.
read the first 3 definitions here, okay?
You're
Go
not
ahead.
reading off of
And
Urban
then I'm-
Dictionary.
Educate us.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and defend my romantic death, okay? So
All right,
inclined-
okay, quit yammering. Get to defending.
Okay.
Come on.
Inclined toward or suggestive of the feelings of excitement and mystery associated with love. 2. Of, characterized by, or suggestive of an idealized view or reality. 1. Then the last one is a person with romantic beliefs or attitudes. For definition 1, that makes sense. I have a feeling of excitement and mystery while dying. Okay. I'm
No, I thought you were going to
defending
talk
whoever
about the
I'm
second
defending.
one. The second one makes more. It's like a.
So,
Yes,
what
but
I'm,
higher
it
end.
what I'm
involves,
hearing
it has
is,
to it has to be related to love. So where does the love come in together with that?
It's because I
He-
loved whoever I'm defending.
he got snuff film and love mixed up, and
I don't
Like,
know. I just
death and love don't go together. Like,
Oh,
no.
also you can't
Usually
write
does.
you can't
It's
write your
in
own
the
story. You
words
can only
to
say
getting married.
kind of what you would do, and then
Okay,
then
not
the
love, I
fanfic
mean-
will come together.
And I don't mean love. I mean the word was romantic, like death and romantic. Unless you're like the Addams fan.
Explain that to
family.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Shakespeare was all sorts of fucked up. You
Yeah,
just have to
Shakespeare
understand
had very
this.
healthy views
I
on
mean,
relationships.
I never really knew the guy. Never met him.
Are you sure?
Can't speak much on.
I always spell his last name wrong. I screw up the E and the A and the spear and the E at the end. He probably wouldn't like me that much.
What kind of loser is a salad named after him?
And what if you just called him Bill? You know how a lot of people have their first name's William, but people call him Bill.
I was
Like,
told
you
he
call
liked
him Bill?
I
Billion.
never understood that.
Like,
It just,
Like,
it's,
you don't
fun
like-
to, it's fun to rhyme things.
Wait, Will and Bill, you don't get that kind of
No,
thing?
yeah, because it makes
Or how
no
Elizabeth
sense.
has 8 different names?
W is so far away from B, right?
Well, why is Jack interchangeable with John sometimes? Jack
Or
Kennedy,
James
John
and Jim.
Kennedy,
Jack.
Oh,
James and
Yeah.
Jim. That's my dad.
James and Jim?
I don't know.
James. Yeah, that's
English
how
is
my
weird.
grandfather was too. His name was James, but a lot of people called him Jim, and I never understood that either. The
My
English
grandfather's name
language
is Tom, and grandmother called him Hank. I never really understood that.
What about
Was it Hank his
what about
middle
the
name?
famous one
It's
that's
not.
the Richard?
Dick?
Oh, Dick? Yeah.
Dickard?
Dicker.
How does that come about even?
Oh, who
Oh,
knows?
well, there was a guy named Richard who was a huge penis-y person. So,
Wait, his personality
All of it.
resembled a penis, or his body was phallic shaped?
all of it at
All
once.
of the above.
It's a great children's story.
His catchphrase was, "Oh,
And then they all lived happily ever after.
Yep.
While we're on the subject of dicks, did anybody see the forum thread post with
Oh.
the
China?
yes that Chinese machine to make sperm donating so much more easy? You just stick your dick in it and it
What?
massages you.
Yeah.
What's
Sucked it
that?
out.
I didn't see that.
I posted it on the Facebook forum thread podcast group page,
Okay,
and
well, I'm gonna-
it's an
I'll
actual
take a look
thing.
at that. Have you
Yeah.
seen that Indiegogo for the?
Is
for the
it
fellatio
just
machine?
is it just in foreign places, or is it near in America?
Why do you want to know?
I don't know. I'm curious.
Like, can I go to my street corner or
No,
like?
I'm
it was
just
in
curious to
China.
how
It
far
was-
it's spread. Like, is this
It was
just a
installed in a hospital in China.
Okay.
That's where it's at right now. But the article that I posted a link to, I actually quoted one of the lines from it. It was the closing line, but I just loved it. It says, "We're not entirely convinced that standing in a room shared with many other people and being milked like a cow is going to help, but the efforts are commendable. Here's the technology."
It looks like you know those like carnival like game things where you stand on it. It's like and it's gonna be like depending on like how much you weigh, it like pops up with a fortune or whatever. It looks like one of those.
Yeah, there's a video in this
Except you put-
article at the
No,
bottom.
this
You can click
Wait,
on
is it a video of it
Oh,
being
man.
used?
No. It's like
okay.
it being demoed.
Okay.
There's like a little pink thing where you put your dick into, and in
There's
the
a
video you
flashlight
can
right
see it
there.
undulating in and out.
Oh,
You can
God.
adjust
Oh,
the speed and the
yes.
rhythm.
Right.
For the Twitchers, there's a link in
And-
the
yeah,
feed.
stick a link in there. And there's even a section
Right,
for
I
a
know.
video screen at the top. So if you're not feeling particularly turned on, you can watch your favorite porn while being milked by the sperm donating machine.
Well,
I'm
asked
gonna
if we
point
can
out-
place an
Does
order for
China
the Chinese
really
sperm
need
milker.
More people? I mean, do they need the whole sperm donating thing, really?
Anytime
Slightly
the word
overpopulated.
extractor has to be used, you know whatever you're talking about is not
How do they
going
how
to
do
be
they make
gay.
sure that it's clean for
It's
the next
not.
person? Also,
They didn't cover that
It's not,
in
that's
the,
the
in the
best
article.
part.
I've got
Like-
no idea.
yeah, I can't imagine unless it's like one of those things like a thermometer in the doctors, how you just kind of put in a new whatever.
Sleeve?
I can't
Put a new rubber on it.
Yeah.
Anyone can have sex with it.
I don't.
Put a bird on it.
That
Okay,
sounds a
so
lot like the Kickstarter or Indiegogo thing that they did, where it was like a self fellatio machine.
What is
So,
fellatio
say
again?
what?
What is that again?
My God. You just reminded me of one of the
Pigeon?
things that I bookmarked
Yes.
that I forgot about,
No.
and I want to listen.
Just
I need
remind
to
me.
talk to you.
I don't know what
Speaking
it is.
of Indiegogo and Kickstarter
Well.
and sex, guess what? Someone is trying to get going.
What?
oh god,
Ooh, let us guess.
Yes, start guessing. It's related to sex. Go.
Is it? Oh, so it is related to sex.
It is
Right.
related to sex.
Is it simulated sex of some kind?
It is kind of simulated sex.
Does it look
oh
like
my
a
god,
person?
please somebody does it have
What?
to do with an Oculus Rift?
No, it does not have to do with
Damn it.
Oculus Rift.
Do you use your hands?
Does it? Does that have to do with
It
Trevor?
does have to do with the stuffed animal.
Oh dear gosh.
the nanny bear.
Does it have to
Teddy
do with
bear.
ponies?
Yes, the teddy bear that you can
You
fuck
knew?
in the mouth.
In the
They're
mouth.
making it happen.
It also vibrates. Its nose vibrates.
It's called like the love me bear or something like that. That I don't remember, but I don't. It was one of those things that I was surfing links on Facebook because they like to show you stuff. Hey, you're looking at this penis machine. You might be interested in this. And I'm like, really? someone actually did this. Like, I've, never looked at a stuffed animal. I had a teddy bear growing up.
I was disgusted.
I wish
Trevor
this thing could give
Phillips.
me a blowjob. You're like, who does that? Who looks at their
Trevor
teddy bar
Phillips
and like,
does.
oh, you'd
Teddy
be so
bar.
much better if I could stick my dick in you.
Sick.
It's so
people.
weird. I don't
Well,
want to say it's sick because
someone will get hurt.
no one's getting hurt by it, but it just strikes me as really, really unusual.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I would feel about someone if I walked into their house and I saw the teddy bear, the blowjob teddy bear, sitting on their couch, and I'd be like,
It's
"Wait
a
a
joke,
minute."
but it's a real
I
joke.
thought it was
You-
a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
Okay, it's not a troll joke face. No.
Maybe
it could
maybe
be
the
a joke. Anyone
idea
that
of it,
uses
maybe
it
the
will be
idea
made
of it,
fun of.
it's like one of those things that started as a joke, and they were just like, what happens
Was it
if
a
we actually
stripper
try to
teddy
do
bear
this
now,
when
too?
people want it?
And then people will throw money at it because apparently people want to fuck teddy bears.
Hey, that's different strokes
No.
for different folks. I'm not gonna judge.
USA.
And this was actually from an American company. It was the other stranger thing that I've seen was that the cuddle pillow thing that Japan came out with. It's like a full, one of those full body pillows that you can cuddle with, only it's heated and has the texture of human skin. And apparently it makes
it's
you
warm,
feel
so you
really
don't
comfortable when you fall asleep at night with it.
Yeah, because a lifeless pillow that feels like human skin is totally comforting.
But it's warm and squishy.
I don't
It's
think
like-
that really helps.
Well, the population in Japan is declining pretty quickly, so this could have something to do with it.
And this started with your marriage, Ray.
Yeah, that's.
All right, we need to change gears now, guys. Let's
Do we?
talk about a movie.
Yes.
Being a complete
Hey,
dick.
yo, I got an idea. No, since we're talking about dicks, let's make the next natural progression to Phil Fish being a complete asshole.
Actually,
What
that
is
was
a
very
Phil
clever.
Fish?
High five to you.
Yeah, see? No, so this one makes sense. This one makes sense. So, alright, so I was kind of a little bit on his side when he had his whole Fez 2 meltdown, where he was just like, I can't take this anymore, I'm not doing it. Like, it was an overreaction, but I was like, I can kind of get it.
Backstory.
And
Yeah.
Backstory.
And
What are
now
you talking about?
I just think... So, Phil
It's also
Fish
what kind
is
of
the
hat.
developer of Fez.
Which is an awesome indie.
Which is actually a really
Platform
awesome
title.
game, even though it drove me absolutely fucking nuts.
Which
Yeah,
you
you
should
did-
go watch
Liv
the
Zelda
Let's
did a
Play
whole
right
Let's
now.
Play.
Oh, after the podcast.
Yeah.
So I did a Let's Play on it kind of thing, or a full play thing, where I slowly lost myself to
Descended
insanity.
into madness.
Yeah, descended. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
He
So-
did say in an interview that Fez represented like a portion of himself. So if he himself went
Jesus.
crazy, it makes sense that you would go into crazy playing his game.
Yeah, I went nuts. So he developed this game, and so his original, I say his original, the last freak out I heard of his is he was developing Fez 2, but he was getting like, there was some like thing that happened on
Negative
Twitter
critics
where
or
like
whatever.
somebody was like asking him a question and he was refusing to answer it, and so the guy was like harassing him about it, and it just spiraled into this whole thing where he's just like, I can't take this anymore. We're, developers, we're constantly trying to do work for you, and all you do is try to tear us down, so I'm just not going to do it anymore. And he stopped development on Fez 2, and it was this whole big hullabaloo. So I was like, I
Yeah.
kind of get it. I think it kind of looked like he was like throwing a bit of an over exaggeration, like temper tantrum kind of thing, like wah wah wah, like. But I kind of understood where it was coming from. So his recent thing is he has come out, and again on Twitter, because this is his favorite way to piss people off, saying that YouTubers who do Let's Plays should pay the developers of the games that they're using in their Let's
Nah,
Plays.
we'll just give
Yeah.
you free advertising instead.
Yeah,
That's
you're
just
literally
utter bullshit.
advertising their
Like-
game. Like, if you're like, yeah, I'm having fun in this, then you're literally presenting people like, they're having fun. I want to play that too, because that looks like a fun game.
Now,
I could
just
see
like an
some
offhand,
douchebag-
sarcastic kind of thing he was saying, or was he just like completely serious?
No, he was straight up
So,
saying this. I have
straight-
quotes and everything from right here.
Yeah,
from the
I've got the
article.
whole this whole thing started. He's like, YouTubers should have to
Source.
pay out a huge portion of their revenue to the developers from which they steal all their content. Ad revenue should be shared with the developers. This should be built into YouTube. Anything else is basically piracy. If you generate money from putting my content on your channel, you owe me money. Simple
That's
as that.
bullshit.
If you buy a movie, are you then allowed to stream the entirety of it publicly for people to watch for free? No, because that's illegal. Systems are in place to prevent that. But buy Fez, put all of it on YouTube, turn on ads, make money from it, and that's totally fine. And the developer in no way should be compensated for their work being freely distributed to the world. Right. That makes sense. That
Yeah.
was his
'Cause it's impossible to experience a video game by watching a Let's Play of it. A video game in itself is an interactive medium, and when someone's just watching and not actively participating in it, they're not actually experiencing the game as it was intended. So his argument right there is irrelevant. Because you're not actually
all
playing
you're doing
the
is
game. You're watching
either
someone else have
enjoying the
experience.
commentary or enjoying the story, or both.
Yeah, and most of the time, you're not even watching it for the actual video game. The video game is just the background. You're listening to the commentary on whomever is playing it. You're listening to them. They're the entertainer, and the video game is just the background with which it takes place on. Kind of like the whole Twitch thing, like the PlayStation has built into it. Like you play your video game, you stream it onto Twitch, and people watch it. It's what people do now. No, he's just got a bug up his ass, and he needs to get over it.
Exactly. It's like a movie. It's like movies are not interactive. You watch those, so yeah, you can't stream that because everyone who's watching that stream is getting the same experience they would have gotten had they bought it themselves.
What about
for gaming and stuff? Doing a Let's Play thing, you're not getting the interactive experience. You're not getting the video game experience. You're watching it as a movie kind of thing. And I know a lot of people, me included, I don't actually watch Let's Plays. I listen to them, and if something really funny happens, I'll look at the screen to see what occurred.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
I'll do that too. I'll be like cleaning the house, have a Let's Play going on, and if someone really starts laughing at it, or if there's two people going at it and they start laughing or really start getting angry, I'll then stop what I'm doing and go and look at the screen and see what's going on. Only exception being, was it the Gary's Mod thing, where the whole Let's Play was just a giant rage ball? But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Like I could see, like, if someone watches a movie on a stream, you could make the argument that if they're able to watch it for free they're not going to go and buy it. I've actually bought games because of Let's Plays, because
so have I.
Everything, like how I met everyone and how everyone here, and the reason I kind of joined the site was in part because of the Achievement Hunter Minecraft Let's Plays, which made Minecraft so much more appealing, and that's why I finally started on and buying it, and that's why I'm playing it right now.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And there's empirical evidence that shows
it's only helped the gaming community,
links
honestly.
To Let's
and that's the
players
people he
and
sells
game
games
revenue.
to.
Oh yeah, even like the example of Flappy Bird, how everyone said it was the worst game ever, and then if you run the dates that Flappy Bird the sales started taking off, it's directly correlated to when PewDiePie
I saw the game theory on that. It was all because of him that the game took off in such a viral fashion.
Yeah, and if you do look at the numbers yourself, you'll see that the video is not a bunch of bullshit. It is actually true. The numbers rise together, and then everyone else starts talking about, oh, this shitty game, Flappy Bird. You don't ever want to play it. And of course, you tell someone, don't think of a pink elephant. You're going to think of a pink elephant. You say, don't play this game. Everyone's like, oh, well, I'm going to play this game.
And get a high score. And post their high score.
Exactly.
Yay.
It's just
so
crazy
even a
for me
bad
to think.
review can be good for the publishers. Like, people will still go out and buy this game. If it's absolutely terrible, even if it's terrible, people will go buy it because they've seen these Let's Play videos.
Yeah. It's just crazy for me to think that more and more developers are on the side that Let's Players and game reviewers are negative and ruin everything when it comes to profit margins, when in fact it's just the opposite. It's free publicity. You're getting free someone saying how amazing your game is with millions of viewers from different demographics, ranging all the way around from hardcore to casual gamers everywhere. It's crazy for me to think people like YouTube and now this Phil Fish dickhead think it's, that they're losing something when they're in fact gaining something. And I'm not gonna, like Lozelda said, I kind of understand where he was coming with his first freak out, because people who basically develop the game and code it and write their own, basically they're the one-man show of jack of all trades. A lot of these indie developers are. There's 5 of them who do 10 or 12 different tasks. I understand the passion you have to have, or that it's required to make a game when it's just you or 2 other people. But this kind of statement really just upsets me because it's just ridiculous to think that you can't Google search some Google history and link it up to you. Like it's marketing 101. It's very simplistic on how easy it is to look up this data and see the correlation between profit and Let's Players.
I think his issue is that he's just got a bug up his ass from the first go-around of issues that he had that made him quit the gaming industry in general. He had a falling out with the gaming community, and like the gaming community is not known for being the most polite group of motherfuckers. They've got a lot of problems. So just because his breakdown was as public as it is, I did kind of feel sorry for the guy up until just this kind of happened. Because I do understand that if you're not one of those persons that can just keep going and keep going and keep going, no matter how much bad feedback you get, and no matter how many people like start calling you names and verbally abusing you on social networks, then that's understandable. You can have a breakdown. That's fine. But then throwing the whole tantrum and saying, "Fine, I'm gonna take my toys and I'm gonna leave the world that is gaming, and you're not gonna get Fez 2. This is my punishment to you." So he's already incredibly jaded, and so with this debacle, he's just continuing this rant. He feels like he's been wronged, and he thinks the gaming community, because it was our fault that we pushed him so hard, but so he thinks that he's justified in saying, well, I just need to wring as much money as I can out of you fuckers because I feel like you wronged me. But in this instance, I think he's solidly in the wrong.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's kind of like, this is the shit you'd expect EA to pull.
Yeah.
Not an independent developer.
You declared war on them, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
When was this?
Yesterday or this morning. I don't remember which now.
Why did you declare war on EA?
I'm just so
Like, I'm not saying I blame you. I'm just
bullshit.
curious what did it.
I'm so
What
sick
was
of
the
their bullshit.
last
I was
Show us on the doll.
There were so many things that had
Did
pissed
they
me
touch
off.
you here?
They
or
touched me with
here?
Spore, and they touched me with SimCity,
Wait,
and
Spore is a 6-year-old game. How did they get to you with that one?
because I didn't buy it for like 5 years. I didn't buy it until last year. And even then, it was still kind of a mess. And you could see where Maxis had a really good idea, and then EA put their fingers in it, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And like I've never liked what they did with the whole do with the whole Madden franchise. And now that we have the next gen consoles, and you look at Madden now, like the new version of Madden is worse.
How can they get worse
than
with
the
just
last
sports? I thought it
iteration.
would just get better or stay the same.
It's all the details. If you look at the commercials they did for Madden, they were just advertising how interactive it was, and like the crowds were alive, and the guys on the sidelines would react to everything that you do. But they don't. They just kind of stand there, and they'll like kind of have a moving animation, and then if your player gets too close to them, they'll back up.
Ooh.
And that's about it. Yeah, it's really lame.
I thought you don't play sports
and
games.
it's just a tiny marginal improvement over the last generation. And I don't, but I still follow their development. And this is EA's policy in general. That's just one example. If you look at any of the other stuff that they put out, it's got the same level of just bullshit and like day one DLC and the always online shit, like stuff that people crucified Microsoft for when Xbox One was first announced, and then Xbox backtracked afterwards when Sony came out with, how do you share your game? Here, just hand it to a friend. And Microsoft was like, oh damn, we can't take over the world with our security policies. So yeah, I'm just sick of it. And I was watching a couple videos about just EA in general and their business model. I'm like, there is a whole bunch of stuff that they do that has always pissed me off, and like still pisses me off when I start thinking about SimCity, because I absolutely adore that game. I played SimCity 4 for nearly 10 years due to the modding community, and I can't do that with the newest
They
version
don't have
of
a lot.
SimCity.
Do they not
Even when
let
it
mods?
goes. Not right now. Well, maybe now. Because the big news was, first they said they would never go offline, and then that was the big news. Offline mode is coming so that the community could actually mod it. But the cities are still tiny. So when you have a space that is so small to work with, there's no variety that you can do. You can come up with like 3 styles of city, and that's it. There's next to no replay
that's it?
value
Just
after that.
130
I put
hours?
about 130 hours into it, and I'm done. I can't think of
130
anything else
hours.
that I can do with that space. Whereas
I feel like that's a $60 well spent when you put $130 into a game.
$130.
Or hours,
if you look
anyway.
at how much time you could spend on its predecessor though, SimCity 4, I literally spent like when I didn't have anything better to play, I would go to SimCity. So
Well,
over a period of
that's
about
just
10
downright
years,
excessive.
Yeah, that's thanks to the modding community. Anything that Maxis didn't develop, like there were new highway plugins, new buildings, new regions. The community was just absolutely amazing. You could download fresh stuff anytime you wanted to. I had more downloadable content than I had game files. So I could literally, like, anything I had in my mind that I wanted to do, I'm like, I want to make a city today. I want to try this design with this traffic pattern and see how it works. So I could literally do that, but you can't. And then you could get the cities to all work together, and this one is just a mess. Like the cities in the new SimCity, if you try and share resources with each other, some of the resources never get shared because the cars get lost in between the cities.
Jesus.
Like shit still doesn't work. And once I played it so far along where all the bugs that were still there were just constantly staring me in the face, like my school systems had no students going to them. I had, and all the buildings were going abandoned because the students couldn't get to school, but the students weren't going to school. I'm like, what the hell happened? Is like the school buses were all stuck in between the cities somewhere, and the only way I could reset that was to delete the city altogether and start over again, and then the same shit would happen again after the city got built up. It's just broken. And yeah, so I figured with how dissatisfied I am with them in general and the products that they put out, that I'm just not going to stand for it anymore. I don't like their business model. I don't like what they do to the video games. So the only voice I have is the voice I have with my wallet, and I'm not going to throw money at them anymore.
Fair enough.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it's coming to a point where I feel like more and more companies are producing broken games.
Games
Like,
that could
I
be
originally-
good.
when I
Ubisoft does that too.
I was actually about to mention Ubisoft. Like I think a lot of the mechanics in Watch Dogs are great. I mean, there's a lot of polishing that needs to be done, so it might be half proof of concept. But there's another half that I'm really just concerned with. Is like, how can this not be fixed? I haven't seen a single update yet, and it's simple for the fact of side quest shit. Like, there's achievements linked to clearing out 15 gang hideouts out of 15, and I have 14 out of 15, and the 15th one isn't showing up. Or it's just, and there's 3 or 4 things that won't show up, like when you check into a hotspot, which is just like, when you check in on Facebook or whatever, you're supposed to get 100 of those. I have 99 of them. Can't find them. And I've looked it up on YouTube, and there's like hundreds of people having the same issues, and then there's like thousands of other people having major other issues for there's important shit that needs to be in your game in order to unlock other things in the story mode, and that's also all gone. Like, you need a certain, like, how, and I'm not sure if any of you played Assassin's Creed, but how you eagle jump or whatever, you get on top of the tower and you do that thing. Well, there's towers that you unlock using hacking. Some people are having important key locations like that not show up on the map whatsoever, or not even be in the game.
They always are.
And in the PC game, or the PC version of Watch Dogs, is even worse. There's no rendering of the shadows. There's no reflections on the glass. It's just
Speaking
ridiculous.
of Watch Dogs 2, with the rendering issues, I recently found out that after the PC version of Watch Dogs came out, you know how good Watch Dogs looked at its E3 debut, and then it got uglier as it went on?
Yep.
Well, apparently there are hidden settings in the game that allow it to look as good as it did in the E3 showing, but they intentionally removed that section of the game from the public. But people, of course, are going to look into the code and see, oh, this is how it looked that way, and
Maybe
so
it's an
they
Easter
can
egg
turn
for
it on
hackers.
themselves. So it makes you wonder, why the hell did they turn those settings
Maybe
off?
it was a cruel form of, like, just trying to give you, like, graphic settings. If you don't have a good enough computer, then you can set it to this setting. And if you...
Well,
it was this. It reminds me of the Aliens Colonial Marine game,
Jesus.
where they showed
game ever.
something completely different in the trailers than the actual product was. And even though like the mechanics for Watch Dogs are still the same, what they showed with their demo at E3 was pretty much false advertising. It's like, look at this. This is in-game. Look at how shiny it is and pretty and next-gen it is. And then when you get the next-gen game on your next-gen console, you're like, wait a minute. This is a hell of a lot uglier than what you showed me. What's up with that?
Well, the one thing I saw in an article somewhere or heard on a podcast was that the game would crash constantly or it would crash in a consistent amount of times that they couldn't run the high-res stuff. So what I'm hoping for is the next iteration of Watch Dogs, they polish all this stupid shit like I can't blind fire when I'm behind cover. They need to fix that. Plus, they need to fix maybe having a next-gen game look like a next-gen game.
Yeah, they actually need to make it look fancy as it could be, not just kind of eh.
Yeah, it's like they shat out a game.
Well, another great idea, because the premise of it actually makes it seem very interesting to me, and was something that I'd like to play.
Yeah.
But
definitely, the premise in a lot of the stuff's great. It just there's a lot of stuff like little caveats that make the game like suck. I don't know. It's still fun and enjoyable. Like I'll ride around and run people over, or I'll hack some random phone and listen to a conversation or whatever. That's really cool about the game.
All the Easter eggs that they kind of put in. At least that's one good thing they have going. It's just the amount of, unless you were on the internet a lot, it would sail right past you. But it's so funny, all the things they put in.
Exactly. It's just there's some stuff that's really broken about their game they need to fix with at least an update or in the next iteration of the game, which I hope they can do in an update.
Well, yeah, if they do come out with a sequel to the game, they already have the code pretty much done. All they have to do is just make a couple updates and put a new story to it.
Yeah. So
I don't think that'll be a problem. Inevitably, the second one should be a lot better, I think.
I hope. So we have a few other things. Someone said something about Mormons.
No.
Oh, please tell us the story. Please. I've been waiting. I wish you were on last week so I could have heard the story.
Your experience.
Well, we also want to add our our 2 bits and advice about
what to do when these creatures approach.
When the Mormons attack,
to kill them.
It was.
I relate Mormons to velociraptors. You never see them coming.
Yeah. No,
velociraptors they're very clever girls.
Velociraptors are much more cute
clever
than Mormons are. You can't make that comparison.
Very clever.
I love velociraptors. I don't like Mormons. You can't do that.
At least they're nice, right? I mean, all the Mormons I
know
are
very
nice,
very kind people,
nice, which is kind of scary. But
and she turns into people into cupcakes and eats them.
It was funny. Like just the other day, like we randomly heard the doorbell ring, and they didn't look like you would expect them to look. They looked like they weren't like dressed up or anything. It was just two.
It's normally the guys walking around.
Wait, were they Mormon or Jehovah's?
It was Mormon.
I didn't know at first.
I just
That's what
confused
happened.
the two of myself.
It's because someone knocked and I didn't see a car and I wasn't sure who it was. No one else was really here. And I was just a girl. I was like, oh, okay. Some young girls. And I didn't realize at first what they were until I saw something about, like, Jesus Christ, like a little badge. And I was like, oh, okay, they're just some religious. I didn't realize it was Mormon either. And then they're like, do you have a minute? I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So I went out there and I just listened. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I was trying to get out of it because they kept going on, about their mission and they want everyone to feel God. And, that he wants me to talk to him and share all my bullshit. And I didn't realize, I still didn't know what church it was because they were talking and I was just like, what the fuck do I do? And I was trying to get out of it.
They didn't say what church they were from?
They did. It was like the Latter-day Saints or whatever. But I wasn't paying attention at the time. I was just like, shit, what do I do?
That's why you pull out your satanic
and they're
cross.
just talking. And
You're not hearing them, you're hearing the voice inside your head.
Like,
how do I get rid of these people?
I know, I just didn't have it with me. But
you gotta brand yourself with a pentagram. That's what needs to happen.
I didn't know it was there, but I went out.
Yeah, I didn't know. I would have been able to. I would have known a little bit more what to say, but I didn't realize that that's why Ray was taking so long downstairs. I was like, huh. Oh, those... okay, that's what's going on.
I thought I could get out of it because they're like, can we like talk to you more about our message and come by another time? I'm like, do you have a number? Like, can I call
No.
you? And they're like, yeah. They wrote this and they go, do you have a number? I'm like, fuck. I was like, I can't lie. I can't lie.
only
damn
have
it.
a house
I
phone.
would have given in
like
that case if I
75309.
really didn't want. I would have given them like a number that's close but not.
I thought they'd leave me alone because I was like, well, you see, this Saturday I'm getting married, blah, blah, blah. So, it's really busy. And then, we're going on the honeymoon
Oh my god!
thing,
You're
and-
just like, can we come?
Well, they did offer to have a Mr. Like we know some
Oh
people
my god! They
that could do it.
they seriously come at you from every angle.
Yeah,
they know
they're
how to
very-
respond to every
That's
situation.
amazing.
I thought they forgot about me. Just today, I was like, oh, cool. I haven't heard from them. They must have just forgot. And then I got texted right at 9 o'clock.
They texted.
Yeah, I got texted from the two missionary girls. Like, hello, Rachel. It's the
Wow.
missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ
Give
of
me their
Latter-day
number.
Saints. We hope your wedding went well last Saturday. Is there a good time this week for us to come by
Give
and
me
share
their
more of our
number.
message with you? And it's just sitting here, and I don't know
Don't
what
drink
to
the
do.
Kool-Aid.
Tell them you moved. I moved.
Give me their
I,
number.
I
so
went to
can text
Utah.
them,
I
hail
joined
Satan.
your people. Aren't you guys happy? Improve your numbers.
I just want to
You
say,
won.
like, my
You got
husband's
me.
really against it. Like, yeah, we got married. And
My
he
husband
just-
was really into the underwear.
Wait, what?
Next time,
I can just be like, no, he's Jewish, you see?
Jewish.
So he just doesn't work.
Oh no, that doesn't stop them. That doesn't.
No.
They know how to respond to that one
You've
too.
Tijan,
know
have
what
you
to do.
have you had a similar
just-
incident?
Jehovah's.
No, wait, Ray,
Jehovah's came
Ray.
to my door, and I tried the best I could, and
Just
it was my
say
mistake for
no.
answering the goddamn door.
All you have
But-
to do is just say no. Tell
I
them
tried to pull the
fucking
Jewish
leave.
thing. I said no, thank you. I pulled the Jewish thing, and then they were just like,
Yeah, see, Dark,
And they just hooked
it's
right onto
hard
that.
in
They
this
knew- they had a
society
whole
to
new
just
diatribe.
straight out say no. Like, I have a feeling you would be just like, no, and close the door. But
Honestly,
some
I'd
people,
open the
like,
door and be
aren't
like, hey,
used
no,
to
I'm a
doing
big
something
fan of
like
Satan.
that. So it's just like,
they just
What
look
can you
so
offer me?
disappointed,
No.
you know.
Like I've been on the I've been on the other side of the door. There's no way to get rid of them. You have to literally say no, put me on your do not call list, and don't
Ask
ever
them
come
to bring you
back,
cookies next time.
because they will keep coming back no matter what, unless they mark you down as a do not call. They will be back.
She texted me.
They're
What
watching
to
you.
do?
You tell
Block their
them
number.
no, Ray.
Ask
You
them to
say,
come by.
sorry, we had a miscommunication. I was being nice. I want nothing to do with you. Now
can't-
leave
I
me
can't
alone.
do
I'll
How
put
does you
in that
can?
phrase on
Do
your
it.
phone
Be
and
like,
send
"Hail
it
Satan."
if you wish.
No,
change your
'cause then they'll
voicemail
send
so
it
the next
back,
time they
they'll
call.
talk back to me. No. I don't know what to
No,
No,
oh
no,
no, right?
just
If
make up, like, a whole new
if you
religion.
literally say like no, don't contact me again, then they might send a all right
say your God
or
isn't real.
we regret, but this like one final ending message.
They will respect you
But
if you just say. "Do not call me."
they're nice
Block the
people,
number.
so they'll understand, and they probably dealt with tons of this stuff.
Actually, you'll get arrested for that.
Aaron in the Twitch thinks you should sex them back.
Oh, yes.
Aaron, I like you.
Yeah,
I
you'll
like
probably get
the way
arrested
you
because you're
think,
probably
Aaron.
underage. But I like where your mind's going, Aaron.
She's not a politician. She's fine.
And I can guarantee you they're not.
No,
underage.
she's
They
not a
actually
politician,
have
she's
a
fine.
Mormon friend. They have to be 18 before they can go do their
Oh,
mission,
okay,
so-
then
Yeah,
no.
they were
Yeah.
walking
Totally
around. They
fine.
used to look
Depends
at
how
me.
many
part of the
old
deal
people are in
there.
the neighborhood.
I want to know like their success rate. Like how often do they convince somebody?
I don't
Like,
think it's
really
often,
low.
what kind of mindset are
because
you
the
in?
girls were very nervous. They were like, "Hi," they were talking too fast. Like,
Oh
I
my!
forgot
You
to
just
mute
didn't
I
want to
would
myself."
have
disappoint the new
eaten their
girls.
balls.
Yeah, that was definitely
Yeah,
a
but-
big part
You
of
felt
it
bad for them,
because
that's what your
they
mistake was.
either were new or they were expecting like some form of backlash.
No. Ugh. That's why I can't be
I don't know.
mean.
Did they come up cowering?
I think if you just
Invite
show
them
up
to
in your
chat in
underwear,
your
be like,
basement.
"Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not really a big believer. Blah blah blah."
I don't think the underwear is
gonna
gonna work on me.
I actually do that. I come.
You have a
prepared.
special pair
Hey, we're
of
like,
underwear
my
to
bad.
answer the door with. You're like, oh, hold on.
The one with all the
Because usually I'm
stains
like,
and holes in it.
If I'm
Where's
If I'm
this
at
is my
my
sexy
doorbell
and I know
underwear.
what my boxers. Where are those? I need to find them immediately.
Please do
Yeah,
not
if I'm
change your
lounging
life.
around
Back.
at home, I'm usually not wearing much. So, like, if there's a knock on the door, I always check and make sure if it's UPS. But if it's someone in a suit and tie, then if it's UPS, I'll go and throw something on because I got to sign the package and whatnot. But if it's someone in a suit and tie, I'll be like, just open the door and peek around it.
I'm in my
And-
business suit too.
Like, yeah, what do you need? Like, sorry, now's not a good time. And then you just kind of scoot a little bit more out where they can kind of see part of one leg and that there's no clothing there between the
You
upper
have
body
this
and
down.
one leg, and then they instantly turn around and
Yeah,
leave.
exactly.
Ray,
It's a Potter
Tell me,
secret
it's
that I'm
not gonna
passing
work.
to you. What?
It's like religious people are scared shitless of
Unless
bare
you're a little
skin,
boy.
so that's the easiest way to get rid of them.
Yep.
Just show them a little, and they're like, "Oh my god, indecency! Human body!"
Dang.
Yeah, that's
It is the Holy Land.
that's the
Yeah,
Catholic.
if
Too
you're
soon.
a Catholic priest, then yeah, the flesh
So
of a
did
little
they.
boy is just apparently like I don't even know, like candy to you or something.
totally just went there.
Yeah.
honey to a bee. But
Ray, if you want to find a way to make them go away on their own, without having to answer the door in your underwear,
Just
I highly
say no.
recommend- No, but if you're too
Church is a flying spaghetti
just
monster.
say no. Always keep a pasta colander next to your
that's-
door.
Dude,
And
no,
if
Lozelda,
they,
Lozelda, do you know what you're saying? Like
I
the
do
only,
know what I'm saying.
It's like that's like
Fucking-
women who get approached by those creepy guys at
Oh
the
my God, your
bar,
face.
and they just don't
You
say no to
practice
this
that.
creepy guy, and he keeps on pushing and keeps on pushing, like,
No,
"Hey,
no,
baby,
no.
let's go out." And you're like, you just can't say no, but you can say,
What are
"Fuck
you
no,
doing with a
guy,
colander?
get
No,
out of
I
my
take a pos-
face."
No,
And
it
that's
totally
all
works.
it takes. That's
I
all
take
it
a
takes.
colander with me to the bar. It's fine.
Oh, you're killing me.
No, but it's like it's one thing to be like to
It's
say
actually a
no
lot
to a creepy
easier.
guy, and it's another thing to say no to somebody who's like
genuinely
genuinely
nice.
like passionate
Creepy
about
religious
their religion
people that are
and stuff.
passionate
Like,
about their cult. There's no
If they're
difference.
not creepy though, and they're not overly passionate, they just literally
creepy.
want to say, "Hey, here's this thing."
like
They were very passionate, though.
if the Morbid comes to my
You could
door and
probably
is trying
sue for
to
that.
pitch this to me and is like stroking my shoulder, yeah, we're gonna have a problem, and I'm telling him to fuck off. But if you're just like, hey, this is what we're doing, I feel bad being like, no, it's like I feel bad for the people who are like telemarketers because I'm like, I know they don't want to be doing this either. So I try to be nice to them. It's like, oh, thank you, but, and I try to be very civil to them, except for the fuckers who called us 7 different times yesterday within 4
Are
hours.
you sure you
Fucking
don't
down.
want this?
Oh, God.
I mean,
Yes,
we know you
I'm
said
sure
you don't
I don't
want
want
it,
the extended
and we know you
package.
said don't call back. But we really thought in the
This is
tone
our
of your
fourth
voice
time,
you
and
were about
we
to
just want to
change
ask
your
you how your
mind.
walk went.
I lost my shit on the last phone call. I am not entirely proud of what I said.
Well, you do have the nickname Mad Queen, so
Yeah.
why don't you tell us how that
Yay.
went?
Oh, gosh.
How the phone call went? So
No, where the backstory of your name.
no, it's really not a good story. Like it's one of those things you had to be there for.
All the
It's
RT
really-
Michigan people are here anyway, so you might as well
Yo,
retell
to
the
invite
story.
one on the podcast.
Yeah, and they're the ones who gave me the name. So
Maybe they
might
should tell
tell
us
it
the story.
better than I did. But
yeah, get them on
No,
the
yeah,
podcast real quick.
no, we're not putting them on the podcast. Boo. No. I have to continue my reign of terror, and if I give them a voice, it's all over.
That's good.
enough.
That's
Fair
really
enough.
good. Keep them under your thumb so they can't revolt against you.
What about RTX, guys? What are you guys excited about most now that we've gotten that all taken care of, I guess?
I think the
I don't care about
autograph
autographs.
situation's
The
lame.
X.
It's like an hour.
What do
You
you-
have a chance to maybe get to one of the guys.
No, so last year was kind of a clusterfuck. They're changing it up this year. They're gonna
The
do
last 3 times. It's been a
It's because
clusterfuck.
the problem they had last year is the number when people get in line, the guardians that are in charge of the line have to count how many people are in line, and they're only allowed to let a certain number of people in because you make the assumption you can get through that number of people. And they very quickly realized last year that the number they had decided on was too high, so some people were getting screwed. So they're lowering the number. It means less people will be able to get in the line, but it also means if you're in the line, you're going to get to do the thing that you got in line for. So if they won't let you in the line, don't yell at the guardians. They're trying to make it so that way you don't stand in a line for something you're not going to be able to do. Because the way the schedules work out for a lot of the cast and crew this year is a lot of them have an autograph session and have a panel immediately after. Their autographs end at 4, and then they have a panel at 4. So it's a very tight thing, and it's like, we got to go right now kind of thing.
So they have no excuse to stick around this time. They actually have
Exactly.
they have a previous engagement they must
Yeah.
get to.
So there's a couple of them that if they don't have somewhere they have to be, they will kind of like meander somewhere. Like I know Bernie last year when he was done with one of his sessions, he didn't have anywhere he had to be. So instead of just leaving the table the way he was supposed to, he actually worked his way through the line and like was walking up the line to see people.
Jeez. Way to go.
So which like made his PA like go into like a panic attack, but because then he just had a mob of people following him. But so some of them, if they have the time, they will kind of do it. But it's one of those things they're trying to eliminate the idea this year that you could be in a line for something and not get to do whatever
That's
that thing
nice.
is. So they're going to do a better job of capping panel lines, capping signature lines, whatever the other hell kind of lines they might have. They're going to do a better job of trying to like keep track of that. And it might look like they're being jerks, but they're just trying to make it so that way you don't waste your time.
You have to be strong. You have to be firm in your decisions. You have to keep order. You can't just let people push you around in those kind of
And
situations.
people will try. Especially with
will.
30,000 people this year.
Yeah, and
it's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're adapting, going from 10 with the amount of like mistakes and stuff like that have been happening over the years, and they just keep adding huge amounts of numbers. I'm like, they need to figure out kind of some of their problems before they keep adding 20,000 people to the entire convention.
I'm not excited.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
these
also
kind
have
of
to
things
keep
need to be resolved first.
You also have to keep in mind that there's a
You don't
ratio
trial and
here.
error
Of,
with 30,000 people.
there's a ratio of fuck up to profit here that
Oh, it's
is
profit.
important to. Yeah. It's like, so they may not have everything worked out right, but if people are willing to come there and throw their money at it, then of course that's what they're going to have to do. Keep growing the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of. Yeah, they keep saying it's like, oh, we keep learning every year, which is good, but it's like they learn for that number of people, and then they like multiply
Then they
it by some
completely
factor,
change
and
it.
I'm like, I know you just learned, but can you learn and scale for something you didn't know you had to be doing? So I will admit, I'm a little nervous.
It makes no sense.
Like, how is this going to be? We don't
Yeah.
know.
So there's definitely some things going on behind the scenes where it's very clear that they've recognized there were some issues and they're changing things. Like anyone who went last year who saw the Achievement Hunter Lounge clusterfuck.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That
just
was the
a
worst
mess.
part of the entire con.
Yeah,
was that.
that's gone. That's not happening. There is a place they're calling the Achievement Hunter Lounge, but that's going to be where like games and demos and stuff are.
Cool.
And the Achievement Hunter guys are doing regular signings like everybody else did, where they've got a predetermined time that they will for sure be at this spot.
I was so sad I didn't
for
get
an
to
hour.
meet Gavin either one of them. And now my primary goal is if I can just see the Game Grumps, any of them, and get maybe a picture, but at least a quick high five or something like that. Then that's kind of my goal for RTX. If I can just see them once, because they're like aside from like Rooster Teeth, one of my favorite channels ever. So I just hope to actually be able to see them this time, and if they do the autograph lines a lot better, I hope to be able to get in that said line and actually get a signing from them.
I'm afraid it's just going to be like constant mobs waiting for the next autograph session, to where it's just going to be almost impossible to get in.
No, that's going to be entire people's days, is standing in lines for signatures.
Yeah. And anybody who wants if that's what they're going for, signatures, you're going to spend a lot of time in line.
I think those people need to go to a different convention then, because
Yeah.
like they need you're going to get if you go to like freaking PAX East or something like that, you're going to go get a signature. You wait in line for 20 minutes, you're going to get a signature. But for this convention,
Dude, you can get
go
the
see the
signatures.
panels. Like it's just so much more worth your time.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
it's more interactive.
Go see the cool
That's
stuff.
why I'm saying we would
really
only do
glad.
like one thing, like the only one thing at signature I'll wait in line for is that, and then the rest of it is panel. We're planning to get to this panel on this day, and then the next day we'll plan to get to this panel, and then we'll also have a time where we're going to stand near try to watch the main stage things, and then a time when we're not doing anything, so let's walk around and browse the stands.
The July 4th, though, the two after-hour things, which is Master Pancake Theater and then Cards Against Humanity.
You should go to Cards
That's
Against
the most
Humanity because
evil
someone
thing.
someone you know may be working at it. Cough, cough, wink, wink.
Gotcha.
Oh, really?
I think
What
those will
is
probably
the-
be the two worst events to
The
try and
room
get into.
size, how
Top
big
line
is
seats?
the room for Cards Against Humanity, and how big is the room going to be for the Master Pancake? Because if the room size for the Cards Against Humanity is kind of small, then it's going to be like a lot of more disappointed people on that end going to that one.
So
Yeah,
it's
last year
room-
the Master Pancake Theater was pretty big.
Yeah,
I
it
imagine
has to
gonna
be. It's going
similar
to be a
size
movie
this
theater,
year.
so I'm almost
had-
more tempted to go to that one simply because there's a better chance that me and Ray would get
More
in.
likely to get in.
I'm
You're
trying to
gonna
figure out which
have to
room
be in line
everything is
4
in
hours
right
before.
now.
I
So-
mean, we have it inside Woman. Okay, we can. You know.
Yeah, but she's like halfway useless because she can't say so much stuff.
Yeah,
So
there's a
She
lot
can
of
get
stuff I
us in.
can't say.
It's like, what's the
So-
point in
Get us
having an
in
insider
anyway.
when she can't say a damn thing?
So
Thanks,
there-
Ray, or thanks, Lizelda.
Look, yeah,
Oh my
Ray.
god! Oh
Thanks.
my god!
Thanks, Ray Bama.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Ray Zelda.
Ray Zelda. There we go.
Raise up.
So
Low Ray.
looking at the information that is public and the little bit that I know, like there's still like a lot I don't know about the room sizes. Looking at it, it looks like the Master Pancake Theater thing is in the main hall,
Yeah,
which is where like
that's
all the
going to be
giant panels are.
massive.
So
So
that's
you're
easily,
probably
like,
going to get into that
that's
one.
easily I think that one
That was
that
5,000
panel room
people.
last year I think had a 2,000 person capacity. I think I might have made
Yeah,
that number up,
it
but
it
was
was
up there.
the line
Like, I-
was just taking up a floor for the podcast.
Yeah. But like anyone who was standing in line on that floor could get into that panel room. It was insane. So Master Pancake will not be an issue. The Cards Against Humanity is in room 18, which by judging by the other
Is
panels
room
that are
18
in that
not on
one,
the map?
I'm guessing. I can't find the map right now.
Not,
'cause
not
I'm
on the
failing miserably.
RTX app.
But even I don't have my phone right next to me. But like looking at what other panels are in that one, that's still got things that's got like the patch in it and the Ruby music panel and stuff in it. So that one is probably this and the Internet Box podcast. So they have to be
Madhouse.
relatively big. It has to be probably the second biggest panel room that we have. So
It's still big,
it's
but
still, like,
there's
it's
a
not gonna
lot
be
more
as easy
people
to
going to be
get
able to get
into.
into the Master Pancake than the Cards Against Humanity.
Correct. Yeah. And what you were and I want to jump back to what something about Ray was saying about people like essentially, spending all their time standing in lines, whatever. I want to say the one thing they are trying to enforce this year is last year there was a lot of people standing in line to stand in line kind of thing. Like they're not officially opening the line yet, so I'm going to stand over here and we're going to kind of make like an unofficial line so that way when the line opens we can get into it kind of thing. They are not letting that happen this year,
Okay, so
at all.
You
Like,
have to
I
be
like
there
that,
when the
though.
panel shows up.
yeah, so like and that goes for panels and autograph lines, and I honestly, this isn't even like I can't share with you, I honestly have no idea how they're handling the signing lineup. I think they were talking about doing it the way they did it the last day of RTX last year, where they essentially had two separate lines, and like this line is for the 1 o'clock signing, and this line is for the 2 o'clock signing. So you
Oh,
could
they
sign
gotta
up,
do that,
you could
yeah.
get in line like an hour ahead of time at most, kind of thing. The line had to clear out before the next one could get in there. And I think that is what they're doing in the panel rooms is like, for example, in room 16, there's a panel at 2 o'clock and there's a panel at 4 o'clock on Friday. You cannot get in line for the 4 o'clock panel until the one that goes at 2 is completely loaded in. That line is empty. Everyone is sitting down.
Well,
People
yeah,
are
see,
still gonna
there's no
hover.
way you
Like,
can prevent
they're not
it
gonna be able to
because
stop that.
people are going to be lingering as far back as they can.
Well, here's
They're going to run.
Here's the thing about the whole lingering thing, is last year the fire marshal actually had to show up because people were lingering and blocking fire exits. So there's actually ways they have at this point that they're setting up the lines. So it's essentially impossible for you to linger in a way that is not an immediate danger to everyone in the room. And if you're standing in front of a fire exit, you're going to have people on you in no time.
Either way, there's going to be spots to linger, and people are going to find ways to get
Yeah,
in.
This is something
there will be people who like try to find ways around it, but it's one of those things that the guardians who are in charge of that kind of thing are looking for that, and you do not want one of them to catch
Then what's
you.
the best way to get
Basically,
into
just
lines
time
and
it.
stuff?
You have to time
So
the
it's one
walk
of the
so
things-
that you'll arrive there
Yeah,
right
so-
when it happens,
You gotta be,
and
you
then
gotta be lucky.
be faster than everyone
I
else
hate
to
that,
it.
though.
And it's not like there's not going to be like a mad rush for like every panel. Like some of them.
Well, the only ones that
yeah,
I'm
there's
interested
probably-
in.
Every big
So-
one, yeah.
So there's one, yeah. I mean, there's ones that's like, okay, so like the Glib Shark panel is at 2 o'clock on Friday. If you want to be into that one, that's the second panel in that room that day. Okay, so there's one panel at noon. So as soon as that noon panel starts, you could start getting in line for the 2 o'clock one if you really wanted to. But then you're also going to be standing there for 2 hours before the panel starts. And most people are not going to line up 2 hours ahead of time for a panel that's not Ruby
Or Rooster
the
Teeth.
RT podcast or Red versus Blue, that one filled up pretty well last year, but it didn't fill to capacity. So like, I don't know what'll happen this year, obviously. But like last year, people waltzed in 2 minutes before the Red versus Blue panel started, and were able to get a spot, no problem.
Seriously, what was going on at the same time for that one? Because
I don't think
that
there was
surprises
anything
me.
going on. It was the other. I will admit, I think that was the one that happened as the slow mo guy shoot was finishing.
That'll do
So
it.
that might have had something
No,
to do with
that was
it.
that was the RT podcast one.
No, RT podcast was at 1 in the afternoon. Slow mo guy shoot was Sunday morning, and the Red versus Blue panel was at 9 in the morning. And so the
You're
slow mo
correct.
guys, slow mo guys shoot. Yeah, don't question me about RTX
You are
last
correct.
year.
Hey, I was there too.
She will correct you.
I remember
put you in your
I
place,
remember
and then kick
Gavin
your ass.
rushing to the RT podcast set. Like that's just what I remember. That's what I related to.
Yeah. So, well, it's also because the shoot went like way longer than it was
Yeah.
supposed to, so that just kind of fucked all kinds of things up. But yeah. So there was that. So that might have had something to do with it. But even like the RT podcast, like that one, people started lining up for that one at 7 in the morning, and that panel didn't start until like 1 or 1:30
Oh
or
my
something.
god, yeah,
And that was
crazy.
ridiculous. And that also was
yeah.
a pain in the ass for the Guardians. And then there were also like, you just spent your entire day waiting in line, and you didn't get to do anything.
It's
So,
a waste of time.
That's why it's like
Ugh.
good to
yeah.
leave
But that one,
a couple hours, an hour-ish before, or I should say a couple hours, like give yourself 30 minutes or so to get there, and then to get there an hour before, because that seems to be about when the lines are for the thing you're actually going to
Yeah.
open, and that's when you need to join the Mad
There doesn't
Rush.
seem
I
to
would-
be
I
much
would
more
say
to
as
do
a
than the
general
panels.
as a general rule of thumb, an hour before something is going to happen, that's when you should be lining
Yeah.
up. Like whether it's a signing, whether it's a panel, even some of the panels that you're like, that one's probably not as popular, it's not as big of a deal. You'd be surprised which ones end up with lines, and you're like, shit, I can't get into this.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. So, it's kind of a game. The nice thing about panels is that 95% of them will be on YouTube later.
Yeah.
So if you can't, like, if you don't have a question that you're like, I have to get in there so I can ask this question, I wouldn't necessarily maybe waste your time standing in line for an hour or two for it when you could just turn around and watch it on YouTube a week later. Or even if you want to wait in line for one thing and you've got a computer or a phone or whatever, something you can stream with you, you can watch one panel while you're in line for
Another
another.
one,
Because
yeah.
Do you think
they're streaming almost all of the panels. The only ones, there's like particular people who ask their panels don't get streamed. Like I know Mega 64 asks that their panels don't get streamed. And there might be like parts where they like black out some of it, like when they're doing the Ruby panel. If they're doing the premiere during that panel, they'll black out for that section and then bring it back. So you won't get to see the episode air, which you would be able to do if you were in the panel. So that kind of sucks, but you'll get to see the rest of it.
what about the after hours stuff?
What about the after hour stuff?
Would
do
any
they
of that
stream
end up online, like the Cards Against Humanity?
I know I can pretty much guarantee the Master Pancake Theater will
No.
not end up online because you
Yeah,
have
Cards
copyright
Against
issues.
Humanity probably will.
And that I have no idea. It's one of those things like I know the general rule of thumb is the panels are going to be streamed, but it's not like they've given us a list and say these are the ones that
So
aren't. Master Pancake Theater, I know will that like last year there was none of the after hours stuff ended up online. And
Well,
it
there
was partially
wasn't
'cause even
much.
the
There
peak-
was the
What if
dance
someone-
and the
What if
Yeah,
someone was
yeah, so
to
I guess
bring
there
a
wasn't- yeah, there
camera
was-
Quiz house.
in, and like for example, one of my videos that was just recording something for the main stage, the Achievement Horse thing, the Achievement Hunter actually just linked that in the podcast as a video. So what if you brought a camera or something else and just recorded one? Granted, it might not be high quality, but
So
if you post it online,
if you want to
still
record
something.
something, I think the only thing you could potentially have issues with is the Master Pancake Theater because you have copyright issues with the movie, and in the Ruby
yeah.
screening, you might
as long as you
potentially
don't try
have
to
an issue. So
monetize it,
anything
it should
that
be fine.
doesn't involve. Well, copyright rules don't apply just to you making money off it. Like especially like the movie Space Jam. If you
Exclusivity
put
and
that,
stuff like that.
yeah. So like the Ruby thing. That one's kind of iffy. If you put Master Pancake Theater up, you are going to have issues.
Oh, yeah.
For Cards Against Humanity and the Geeks Who Drink, I don't see why you couldn't
that'd be
put your
kinda
own
cool.
videos up there.
to have everyone flood to your
I
channel.
definitely plan
Just
on
to,
doing that.
oh goodness.
Yeah, but I'm also pointing out, I'm just saying, based off the stuff I know, do not take what I'm saying
So
as law.
she's really just speaking out of her ass really well. She doesn't
Yeah.
really know.
I'm very
It
convincing.
should-
So I'm gonna ask you-
Good guess.
I'm going to ask you guys right now, who wants to be on a Geeks Who Drink team with me? Because that's what I want to do.
not
I want to go.
Explain to me what. Explain
It's
to me
a-
what this is.
Yeah,
It's
it's quiz,
drinking and
quiz
quiz. It's video game
competition
quizzing.
while you're drinking.
Yeah.
Now the quiz part sounds like it sucks, but the drinking
So yeah,
part
and then
sounds like
your
it's
drunk
awesome.
self
It
might
gets
might
fun because you're
think
with, like, a
that
group of
the quiz
people.
is awesome.
Have you never known bar quiz kind of thing?
I don't usually like to do quizzes like that because they usually ask a bunch of stuff that I don't know, and I don't like to try to answer stuff
It's
that I
going
don't
to
know.
be geek themed. I think you can handle it.
There's a lot of geek stuff I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why you're
your
on a team
members will
of
cover
8 people.
for the expertise
You're on a
that
team
you
of,
don't
like
have.
8 people or something.
Okay,
Dude, it'll be
Okay,
fun, I
yeah.
promise.
fine, count me in.
If I was
Yes.
old enough.
But
I
no,
would
no,
like
you
to.
can still be in.
No, you can go in. You
not
just don't drink.
A
Yeah.
drinker during it. Like they had, didn't they make?
Yeah,
specific
remind me of this.
You have to go to the
things
bar.
That, yeah.
You get a wristband.
Okay, I might do that then.
So, Tejan Lee, just remind me of this conversation tomorrow or something, because I've been drinking for the last 3 hours, so
Sure.
I may not
Well,
remember.
yeah, and
this.
right before, like, I know me and
I will
Ray
remind
were
you.
considering
We'll be
going
hanging
to
out
it as
beforehand,
well.
too. It's like Saturday night.
If there's, depending on what we're doing that night. So we'll
Yeah.
try to go. We might try to go, I should say.
Yeah, hanging out with you guys is definitely a priority for me.
We can
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out our plans not on the
Yeah.
live stream right now.
True.
Hey, if
And
you guys
with
want to
that,
see us, we're all going to
we're
be
gonna
wearing the
tell you all
same
good
exact
night.
fucking t-shirt.
Come on, guys, say goodnight. We've gone over our hour.
Oh.
We got to pimp some stuff, dude.
Good night, everyone.
Hold on, let Tejan do his thing first.
We got
All
to
right.
pimp.
Oh yeah.
Pimp
Okay.
some stuff, Tejan.
All right, everybody, thank you. We got 10 listeners today. It was awesome. There was at some
Yeah.
point there was 12 of them. So
We
I mean,
love
that's,
each and every one of
that's
you.
a
Thank you.
success.
Yeah,
We're
we're
famous. So follow us on Twitter at the forum thread. You can like us on Facebook. You can find us on roosterteeth.com. We have a group. You can find us on SoundCloud, also the Forum Thread podcast. And you can subscribe to us on YouTube.
That's awesome.
But you're just stumbling over your words
You
tonight,
probably
Tejan
had
Lee.
quite a bit of
Also, if you like BioShock, you should go watch the Let's Play that the TFT just released. I hear it's awesome.
Starring a certain someone who
Me!
likes to pimp shit out.
Yeah, the other Tom.
The other guy.
I do a really
The other
convincing
one.
accent of Tejan Lee. Yeah, see? Right there. I just
You
did
Oh,
it.
nice.
I would never know.
You were the other guy.
Very funny. Anyway, good night, everybody. We will see you again, same time next week.
Well,
Good
sometime,
For our
maybe like
fans,
9:05,
everybody, don't
9:10.
crash and die.